Hey, Dr. Fred, TMT. Hey, I'm a spirit on a human journey just like you, and we're going through this life together to fulfill our soul purpose. That's why we're here with TMTs. So my question is, do you want what you see in others? Have you ever looked at someone and saw, wow, they have this or they have that, and I don't, and I want that, right? We want that. So that means when we want something, what are we actually saying? That I don't have it myself. And so we what happens is when we have this wanting and satisfying this emotional need, what we're actually doing is not only saying that we don't have it, but wanting, it becomes the barrier to getting things in your life. And so when we want, what energetically are we actually saying? I don't have it. When in reality, how this works is if something was foreign to you, you wouldn't even see it. If you had no knowledge of its existence, you wouldn't even see it in the world. So if you have no consciousness, your brain would completely tune it out. So here's an example of something that's unfamiliar. This is a dental roll. Now you go, what the heck is this? Hey, this is made by a company called CBP, Chiropractic Biophysics, and this you put behind your neck and actually molds a curve in your neck, changes the curve in your spine, can only get rid of neck and low back pain, but when we take stress off spinal cord, helps allergies, energy levels, this will totally change your life and totally change your health. It's all research, but you probably had no knowledge of this, right? So this didn't even exist a second ago. Now chiropractors that are watching say, oh yeah, I use dental all the time. I give it to my patients, right? If this thing was at Walmart and you were walking down the aisle, it could have bright lights and flashing lights, unless it punched you in the face, you wouldn't even notice it. You'd walk right by it, yet you'd walk right by it holding your back, wondering why your allergies are kicking up in the spring. You'd walk right by this thing, yet here's the answer to change your life, because you have no knowledge of it. So when we look at wanting satisfies an emotional need. What's that mean? When we want something, that is an emotion that starts in our mind. What's it mean? I want it because I'm trying to relieve some pain, some emotional pain. I want it because I want to feel good about myself. I want to drive this car, or I want to have this bank account, or I want to have this job, because when I do that, I feel good about I want to hang out with these people, right? So want satisfies an emotional need. Now there's a big difference between want and desire. Desire satisfies a spiritual need. Want comes from our mind, desire comes from our heart. It says you can have all the desires of your heart, right? Because desire relates to adding value to yourself or adding value to others. There's a big difference between wanting and desire. Desire comes from deep inside. It comes from our heart, comes from our spirit, relates to our soul purpose. It relates to contributing to the lives of others. How do we know the difference? Well, here's an example. When you see somebody begging on the street, then that person begging, they have a want, right? They have a need. When you say, hey, I want to give them $20, you have a desire. Why are you doing it? Because you want to give them $20? Or you feel something pulling inside you that says, I want to contribute to the lives of others. Now, what about this? Do you recognize this? $100 bill, right? We all recognize this because we use it. This is already inside us. When you see something you want, you see it because it already exists. Now, this is familiar in your life. And then, how many people want more of these, right? So when we say, I want more of these, what are you actually saying? I don't have enough of these. Now that becomes an emotional need, where desire means I add value to others, and this is the exchange. And because I add so much value to others, this comes plentifully. Okay, that's the difference between wanting and desire. Now, as a spirit on a human journey to fulfill a soul purpose, we need to have the maturity to notice the difference between wanting to satisfy an emotional need and desire, something that's coming from our spirit that means we're going to contribute and add value to the lives of others. So what I want to do is give you 5 steps. How many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 steps to getting what you desire. How cool is that? Step 1. Step 1 is notice. what you do is you monitor your body, you use your physiology to say, okay, when you feel that feeling in your body, is that a feeling of want? Am I trying to satisfy an emotional need that's going to take away pain, make me feel better about myself, satisfy some emotion that's in my mind? Or is that a desire that's coming from the depths of my spirit that I know I should do? Like wants come and go, desires stay with you. Man, you have desires and maybe you have these urges that, oh my God, I'm scared to do it, but they won't go away, right? That's part of your soul purpose. So number one, notice. Is it a want, satisfying an emotional need? Or is it a desire to contribute to the lives of others? Step two, celebrate. When you see people that either have things or are doing things that you feel you want, or is it a desire, then you celebrate their success. Why? Because gratitude is the bridge from fear into love. Wanting is an emotional, fear-based motivation. Why? Because I need to feel better about myself, because I don't have this. You're in scarcity and lack. That's fear-based. Desire is love-based. So when you celebrate, you transmute fear into love with gratitude. So acknowledge people. Hey, you know what? You don't have to agree with the way they got it, right? You may think, well, they cheated and they lied and did all those things, and, well, maybe they shouldn't be your friends. But at least you can say, hey, you know what? At least someone had the discipline to be able to make changes in the world. So when we celebrate, it brings us from fear into love. So one, notice what's the motivation. Is it mind or his heart? Two, celebrate the rewards of others, especially people that are contributing to the lives of others. Three, you got to know, right? And what do you have to know? You have to know that when people are doing big things or things that maybe you want to do, they busted their ass. They learned a skill. When you look at the stories of highly successful people, many of them had horrific pasts. Maybe they have belief systems that they had to overcome. Who knows? But you know, people that do big things, they go through a lot of stuff. But what they had to do is they had to learn a skill, right? Michael Jordan practiced harder than anybody else. LeBron James practiced harder than anybody else. Michael Phelps, he swam and worked out harder than anybody else. Success leaves clues. So it's not that they were lucky, right? Maybe they had some skill and some talent or the right body type for that particular purpose, but they busted their ass. So number one, notice, where's it coming from? Two, celebrate the success of others. Three, know that they busted their butt to get the skill. What's four? Learn what they did. So if you acknowledge someone and you say, I'd like to attain that level of success, I really love that purpose and I want to be involved, then learn what they did. Because success leaves clues and is repeatable. So you celebrate. You know they busted their ass, learn their skill. Learn the same skill. And if you learn the same skill, then you can do what they did, except you can do it your way because it's your sole purpose. And then number five, be willing. What's that mean? Be willing to do what it takes. Now, if you're willing to learn that skill and do what it takes and maybe go through some challenges, then you can do those great things and fulfill your desire. Now, again, there's people that are willing to cheat, lie, do all that. That's not what we're talking about. Okay, we're talking about people that you admire, that are doing things for the right reasons, that are helping and contributing to the lives of others. So what's number one? Notice where that motivation is coming from. Is it coming from your mind or is it coming from your heart? Two, celebrate, get into gratitude. Honor people's success. Because when you honor them and you connect with them, you're creating it in yourself. Because if you see it, it already exists in you, and love is bringing that out. What's three? No, they had to bust their ass. They had to develop skill. And so once you know that, then you take away the irresponsibility of they're lucky or they're fortunate or, whatever. I mean, some people get, grace is amazing, and we all deserve grace. Yet, no, they had to bust their ass. Okay? Four is learn what they learned. Develop that skill. Five, be willing to do what it takes. And if you do these five things, you're going to get all the desires of your heart because those desires are your sole purpose. So, hey, here's 5 steps to getting all the desires of your heart. Spread this around. Share it. Comment. Everybody on the planet is here to fulfill a sole purpose. So send this around the world. By the way, on May 14th, if you're local or you want to fly in, We are doing a study group from 7 to 8:30, May 14th. It's second Tuesday of the month in May, and we're going to be at Wellness Choice Chiropractic, and we're getting a group together of people that read the book, You Are More Powerful. They want to come in, they want to talk about it, they want to change their life. We're going to take people through the HEALED system over a succession of months. So fill out this flyer, attach it, RSVP to Dr. Fred, DRFRED1, the number 1, drfred1 at msn.com, and let's make life changes together. Let's create a transformation. May 14th, 7 to 8:30, Wellness Choice Chiropractic in Newport Beach. Fill it out and come see us.